There are many countries where it's possible to live on the absolute dirt cheap budget of $350 per month. And the good news is that does not have to include countries like India, Pakistan, Nigeria, or any other third world countries. This list also doesn't include Southern American countries where you can live on cheap but at the risk of your safety. All the countries mentioned in the list are safe and friendly nations. You would be surprised to know that there are some European nations where you can live on a budget as tight as this. I am breaking down a list of the top 20 cheapest and best countries where you can live on the smallest possible budget and still be left with plenty of bucks for extra activities. These countries aren't just cheap, but they are also full of diverse cultural, natural attractions and great experiences. We did an hours-long, extensive research to curate this list for you, so a like and subscribe would be deeply appreciated. You might already know about some of these countries, but I bet most of the places you will be first time acknowledging are shockingly cheap and affordable. Watch the complete list so you don't miss the golden country you are looking to move to. Now let's start the list. On number 1, we have Nepal. What if I told you that for just $350 a month, you could call the Himalayas your backyard? In Nepal, you can cover all your basics tiny one-bedroom rent outside the city center for $70 to $100, 3 meals a day on $1.50 each, daily bus rides at 50 cents, plus electricity, internet, and utilities for around $232 total, and still have enough room to explore mountain trails on weekends. Even if the true cost edges up to $384 with rent, you're trading costly city life for fresh mountain air, friendly neighbors, and meals cooked from local, farm-fresh ingredients. Can you imagine sipping hot chai after a sunrise hike, knowing you've more than covered your essentials? You'll share a cozy space with a new friend, shop at bustling markets for rice, lentils, and fresh veggies, and use every rupee on experiences rather than hefty bills. There's something liberating about walking to work through narrow streets lined with temples, or squeezing into a colorful bus where everyone greets you with a smile. Wouldn't you love living in a place where your modest budget opens doors to breathtaking views instead of draining your bank account? If you thought Nepal was an incredible deal, wait until you see what's next. Now let's move on to our next country and prepare to be amazed again. On number 2, we have Albania. Imagine waking up to sun-drenched beaches of the Albanian Riviera and knowing that your entire month's basics cost just $350. Could that really be real? In Albania, you can rent a room in a shared flat for as little as $150 per month. Shop local markets for fresh produce and staples at around $100, and keep utilities, electricity, and water down to about $60, with the internet adding another $20. A monthly bus pass will run you roughly $20, bringing your total to $350, covering rent, food, transport, utilities, and even that morning espresso as you stroll cobblestone streets. You'll share a friendly flatmate's company, choose your ingredients at bustling farmers' stalls, and catch a colorful minibus to the old town where adventure awaits. No need to skip out on exploring UNESCO castles or dipping into crystal clear waters. You're living on a budget that frees you to trade big city bills for authentic experiences. How would you spend your extra moments wandering hilltop ruins or chatting with local artisans over chai? If Albania feels like an incredible bargain, you won't believe what's coming next. Now let's move on and discover the next surprise on our list. On number 3, we have Peru. Did you know it's possible to explore ancient Incan ruins and still keep your monthly spending under $350? In many smaller Peruvian towns, you can snag a simple room for about $180 a month, sharing space in a cozy neighborhood away from the hustle and bustle of Lima. Stocking up on fresh veggies, rice, and local cheese at the market can run you around $100 each month, and hopping on minibuses or collectivos for $20 more keeps you moving between cobbled streets and hidden waterfalls. Basic utilities, electricity, water, cooking gas come in at roughly $30, and reliable home internet adds about $20, bringing your total right to $350. Imagine sipping a steaming cup of coca tea after a sunrise walk past terraced fields, or bargaining for hand-woven textiles in a mountain bazaar, all without worrying about overspending. Could you trade late-night outings and fancy gyms for fresh air hikes and colorful local festivals? There's something uplifting about knowing your essentials are covered, leaving every extra dollar free to discover Peru's hidden gems. If you're already picturing yourself wandering through Cusco's winding alleys on such a tight budget, just wait. Our next country will offer an even more surprising way to stretch every dollar. Now let's move on and see where we head next. On number 4, we have Indonesia. Have you ever thought you could wake up to lush rice terraces in Indonesia and still keep your monthly bills under $350? In places like Yogyakarta or smaller towns on Java, you can rent a simple room for about $120 a month, shop local markets for fresh fruits, rice, and spices at around $90, and hop on a motorbike taxi or local bus for just $25 monthly. Basic utilities, electricity, water, and cooking gas run roughly $30, and a reliable home internet plan costs about $20, leaving you still $65 to treat yourself to a street-side nasi goreng now and then. Picture sipping sweet kopi tubruk at dawn, bicycling past temples carved into volcanic slopes, and spending afternoons learning batik from friendly locals, all without ever stressing over rent or bills. Could you swap expensive gym memberships for morning yoga under coconut palms, or high-end dinners for savory satay grilled by roadside vendors? Living this way means your budget isn't holding you back from life's little adventures. If Indonesia's easygoing charm and low costs have you daydreaming, get ready, our next destination will reveal yet another way to stretch every dollar. Now let's move on and uncover where we're heading next. On number 5, we have Thailand. Can you imagine starting your day with a plate of steaming pad Thai by the beach and still keeping your total spending under $350? In Thailand's charming towns like Chiang Mai or Hua Hin, you can rent a clean, air-conditioned room for as little as $150 a month, tucked away in a friendly neighborhood where street vendors and markets are just around the corner. Stocking up on fresh mangoes, sticky rice, and fragrant basil for home-cooked meals will run you about $80 each month, while hopping into a songthaew or local bus for daily errands costs just $30. Add roughly $40 for electricity, water, and cooking gas, plus $20 for a solid internet connection, and you're at $320, leaving an extra $30 to splurge on a mango smoothie at sunset or a ticket to join in a vibrant local festival. Imagine practicing yoga beside a jungle waterfall, bargaining for hand-woven scarves at a night market, or learning a few Thai phrases with smiling neighbors, all without watching your bank balance. Would you trade fancy bars and pricey taxis for fresh street food feasts and shared laughter under lantern-lit skies? In Thailand, every baht you save on basics becomes a chance to dive deeper into rich culture, from temple visits to roadside cooking classes. If Thailand's blend of comfort and affordability has you dreaming of temple tours and tuk-tuk rides, brace yourself. The next country on our list will surprise you once again. Now let's move on and discover where we're heading next. On number 6, we have Vietnam. Have you ever dreamed of sipping fresh coconut juice beside Vietnam's winding rivers without spending more than $350 a month? In cities like Da Nang or charming towns such as Hoi An, you can find a clean single room for around $130 a month, often within walking distance of lantern-lit streets and riverside cafes. Shopping at local markets for rice, leafy greens, and fish will cost you about $80 each month, and hopping onto a motorbike taxi or public bus for $25 keeps you zipping through alleyways and along the coast. Add roughly $35 for electricity, water, and cooking gas, plus about $20 for a reliable internet plan, and you're sitting at $290, leaving you an extra $60 to treat yourself to a bowl of steaming pho or explore hidden waterfalls on the weekend. Imagine trading pricey city bills for morning strolls along ancient walls, learning to roll your own spring rolls from a friendly vendor, or joining impromptu karaoke nights with new friends, all while knowing your essentials are completely covered. Would you miss expensive gym fees when you could practice Tai Chi beside the river at sunrise? How much more vibrant does life feel when your budget fuels experiences instead of bills? If Vietnam's blend of history, flavor, and affordability has your heart racing, buckle up. The next country on our list will astonish you all over again. Now let's move on and see where we're headed next. On number 7, we have Georgia. Could you wake up to rolling vineyards and ancient fortresses in Georgia for less than $350 a month? In cozy cities like Kutaisi or charming towns beyond Tbilisi's bustle, you can rent a neat room for about $120 each month, shop open-air markets for fresh bread, cheese, and vegetables at around $90, and hop on minibuses or shared marshrutkas for roughly $30 to explore winding streets and hillside monasteries. Add in about $40 for electricity, water, and heating, plus $20 for a solid internet connection, and you're at just $300, leaving an extra $50 to spend on sipping local wine beneath centuries-old arches. Imagine trading big city crowds for sunset strolls along the Rioni River, bargaining for handcrafted pottery in village bazaars, or joining lively super feasts where every toast feels like family, all without watching the clock on your bank balance. Would you trade pricey gyms for morning hikes up verdant hills, or fancy cafes for warm khachapuri straight from a wood-fired oven? Living here means your budget unlocks the door to history, culture, and genuine hospitality. If Georgia's blend of affordability and adventure has you packing your bags already, hold tight. The next country on our list will astonish you one more time. Now let's move on and see where we're headed next. On number 8, we have Romania. Have you ever dreamed of wandering through medieval castles and sipping coffee in sunlit courtyards for less than $350 a month? In Romania's delightful cities like Brașov or smaller towns beyond Bucharest, you can rent a charming room for about $140 each month, often in a historic building just steps from cobblestone squares. Stocking up on fresh bread, local cheese, and farm-fresh vegetables at bustling markets will cost around $90, while hopping on trams or shared minibuses for daily adventures runs you about $25. Add roughly $45 for electricity, heating, and water, plus $20 for a reliable internet connection, and you're at just $320, leaving an extra $30 to indulge in a creamy cappuccino at a hidden cafe or join a weekend folk dance under string lights. Picture yourself exploring shadowy Saxon fortresses perched on hilltops, bargaining for hand-stitched embroideries in village bazaars, or strolling through mist-shrouded pine forests, all without fretting over rising bills. Could you trade expensive nightclubs for lively open-air concerts in the town square, or skip pricey tourist traps to discover secret waterfalls with new friends? Living here means every low you save opens doors to fairy tale landscapes and genuine local warmth. If Romania's blend of storybook charm and wallet-friendly living has you spellbound, stay tuned. Our next country will surprise you with yet another incredible way to stretch every dollar. Now, let's move on and uncover where we're heading next. On number 9, we have Bulgaria. Could you wake up to sunlit rose valleys in Bulgaria and live comfortably on less than $350 a month? In friendly towns like Plovdiv or Veliko Tarnovo, you can rent a tidy room in a shared flat for about $130 each month. Shopping at open-air markets for fresh vegetables, bread, and local cheese will run you around $100, and catching a tram or shared minibus for daily errands costs just $25. Add roughly $40 for electricity, heating, and water, plus about $15 for a solid internet connection, and you're at $310, leaving you an extra $40 to enjoy a cold glass of locally brewed beer or join a sunset stroll through ancient castle walls. Imagine swapping expensive city life for weekend hikes in the Balkan mountains, learning folk dances at a village fair, or tasting sweet rose jam straight from the harvest, all without fretting over every bill. Would you miss late night bars when you could spend evenings under starry skies in cozy taverns? How much richer does life feel when your budget lets you embrace new adventures instead of draining your wallet? If Bulgaria's mix of history, nature, and affordability has you dreaming of old town squares and mountain trails, get ready. Our next destination will reveal yet another incredible way to stretch every dollar. Now, let's move on and discover where we're headed next. On number 10, we have North Macedonia. Can you picture exploring centuries-old Ottoman bazaars in North Macedonia while spending less than $350 a month? In charming cities like Ohrid or smaller towns beyond Skopje's bustle, you can rent a simple room for about $110 a month, shop local markets for fresh bread, cheese, fruits, and veggies at around $90, and hop on a shared minibus or city bus for just $20 each month. Basic utilities, electricity, water, and heating run roughly $40, and a dependable internet connection adds about $15. Putting your total at $275, leaving an extra $75 to savor creamy Macedonian yogurt or join lakeside sunset picnics. Imagine trading pricey dining out for homemade burek breakfasts with neighbors, hiking rugged lakeside trails by day, and dancing under string lights at a local festival by night, all without worrying about rent or bills. Would you trade expensive gym fees for spontaneous paddle boat rides on Lake Ohrid, or skip upscale bars for homemade rakija shared around a fire? Living here gives your modest budget the power to unlock hidden gems and genuine local hospitality. If North Macedonia's blend of affordability and ancient charm has you ready to pack your bags, hang on, our next country will amaze you with yet another way to make every dollar count. Now let's move on and see where we're headed next. On number 11, we have Bosnia and Herzegovina. Could you imagine strolling through Ottoman-era streets in Sarajevo and still keeping your monthly spending under $350? In Bosnia and Herzegovina's charming towns, you can rent a simple room for about $110 a month, shop at open-air markets for fresh bread, cheese, fruits, and veggies at around $90, and catch a tram or shared minibus for just $20 each month. Basic utilities, electricity, water, and heating run roughly $40, and a reliable internet connection adds about $20, bringing your total to just $280, leaving you an extra $70 to enjoy a glass of local wine by the Miljacka River. Picture trading pricey cafes for homemade cevapi grilled on a street cart, wandering through ancient fortresses by day, and joining lively folk dances under lantern light by night, all without fretting over rent or bills. Would you miss upscale bars when you could share stories around a campfire in the mountains? How much richer does life feel when your budget frees you to explore hidden waterfalls and centuries-old mosques? If Bosnia and Herzegovina's mix of history, hospitality, and low costs has you dreaming of winding streets and mountain trails, get ready, the next country on our list will surprise you with yet another amazing way to stretch every dollar. Now, let's move on and discover where we're headed next. On number 12, we have Philippines. Can you imagine waking up to palm-fringed shores in the Philippines and still keeping your monthly spending under $350? In friendly cities like Dumaguete or smaller towns across the Visayas, you can rent a clean, fan-cooled room for around $140 a month, Then stock up on fresh mangoes, rice, and local fish at the market for about $90. Zipping around on jeepneys or tricycles will cost you only $30 each month, and basic utilities, electricity, water, and cooking gas run roughly $40, with a solid internet connection adding about $20. That brings your total to just $320, leaving you an extra $30 to treat yourself to homemade halo under swaying coconut palms. Picture sipping sweet calamansi juice at dawn, wandering colorful street markets where everyone greets you with a smile, or joining impromptu beach volleyball games at sunset, all without fretting over rising bills. Would you trade pricey brunch spots for fresh seafood barbecues on the sand? How much more alive does life feel when your modest budget fuels new friendships, palm-fringed sunsets, and warm island festivals? If the Philippines' blend of island magic and wallet-friendly living has you already picturing sandy toes and cool ocean breezes, hang tight, our next country will amaze you once again. Now let's move on and uncover where we're headed next. On number 13, we have Paraguay. Could you wake up to warm breezes in Paraguay and still keep your monthly spending under $350? In Asuncion, or nearby towns, you can rent a neat single room for about $130 a month, then shop at bustling markets for fresh bread, cheese, fruits, and veggies at around $90. Zipping around on shared minibuses or city buses will cost roughly $20, and basic utilities, electricity, water, cooking gas run about $35. Add a reliable home internet plan for $15, and you're at just $290, leaving an extra $60 to treat yourself to tereré with new friends or explore the city's colorful street art. Imagine swapping pricey cafes for homemade sopa paraguaya by the riverbank, wandering through colonial plazas at sunset, or joining a folklore dance in a village square, all without fretting over rent or bills. Would you trade expensive gym fees for morning walks along the Paraguay River, or skip upscale bars for lively local festivals under lantern-lit skies? Living here means your modest budget opens doors to rich culture, genuine hospitality, and endless discovery. If Paraguay's laid-back charm and wallet-friendly living have you dreaming already, get ready. Our next country will astonish you with yet another way to stretch every dollar. Now, let's move on and see where we're headed next. On number 14, we have Montenegro. Have you ever thought you could explore Montenegro's sun-soaked Adriatic coast and still keep your monthly spending under $350? In towns like Budva or coastal villages beyond KOTOR's fame, you can rent a simple shared room for about $150 a month and shop local markets for fresh bread, cheese, olives, and seasonal vegetables at around $90. Catching local buses or shared minibuses runs about $20 per month, while utilities, electricity, water, heating add up to roughly $40, and a reliable home internet plan costs about $20. That brings your essentials to just $320, leaving you an extra $30 to savor a gelato by the sea or kayak through hidden coves. Picture starting your day with a sunrise stroll along ancient city walls, bargaining for handcrafted ceramics in a seaside bazaar, or swapping evening cocktails for homemade preganis drizzled with honey, all without fretting over bills. Would you trade crowded tourist spots for secret beaches only locals know? How much richer does life feel when your budget unlocks sunsets over shimmering waters instead of draining your wallet? If Montenegro's blend of breathtaking scenery and affordable living has you picturing coastal adventures, hold on, the next country on our list will reveal yet another way to make every dollar count. Now let's move on and see where we're headed next. On number 15, we have Serbia. Have you ever dreamed of exploring Serbia's historic towns and vibrant markets while keeping your monthly spending under $350 a month? In places like Novi Sad or smaller neighborhoods just outside Belgrade's bustle, you can rent a cozy single room for about $120. Shop open-air markets for fresh bread, cheese, and garden veggies at around $90, and hop on shared minibuses or city buses for just $20 a month. Add roughly $40 for electricity, water, and heating, plus $20 for a reliable internet connection. And you've covered rent, food, transport, utilities, and Wi-Fi for about $290, leaving you an extra $60 to treat yourself to a creamy slice of kajmak or a night out at a local kafana. Picture sipping strong Turkish-style coffee beneath ivy-draped balconies, bargaining for hand-woven rugs in sunlit courtyards, or wandering medieval fortress walls at sunset, all without fretting over bills. Could you swap pricey fitness classes for morning jogs along the Danube? Or skip expensive cinema trips for open-air concerts and leafy parks? Living here means your modest budget unlocks genuine hospitality, centuries-old history, and unexpected adventures around every corner. If Serbia's blend of wallet-friendly living and warm culture has you imagining yourself already, get ready. The next country on our list will reveal yet another incredible way to make every dollar count. Now let's move on and discover where we're headed next. On number 16, we have Cambodia. Have you ever imagined living just minutes from ancient temples and tropical landscapes, all while spending less than $350 a month? In Cambodia, that's not a fantasy. It's the everyday life of many expats and digital nomads. In cities like Siem Reap or even parts of Phnom Penh, you can rent a modest studio or shared apartment for just $120, $150 a month. Daily local meals of rice, fresh vegetables, and flavorful curries cost as little as $1 each, meaning your monthly food budget could easily stay under $80. Add around $30 for utilities, $15 for high-speed internet, and just $10, $20 for tuk-tuks or motorbike fuel, and you're still under budget. But it's not just about numbers, it's about experience. Imagine waking up to birdsong, sipping iced coffee at a street stall, or spending weekends exploring ancient ruins like Angkor Wat for the price of a single meal back home. How would it feel to stretch your money further than ever while living somewhere that feels like a constant adventure? Would you trade your noisy commute for temple sunsets or your weekly grocery run for a walk through lotus-filled ponds? If Cambodia's spiritual charm and astonishing affordability already have your imagination racing, wait until you see what the next country offers. Let's move on and keep discovering where your $350 a month can take you. On number 17, we have Malaysia. What if you could enjoy vibrant city life, lush rainforests, and some of Asia's best food, all while living comfortably on just $350 a month? In Malaysia, this dream is surprisingly possible, especially in more affordable towns like Georgetown or Ipoh. Let's break it down. A small apartment or shared flat can be rented for as low as $120, $180 per month, particularly outside of Kuala Lumpur. Eating local food is one of the biggest perks here, not just because it's delicious, but because it's cheap. You can grab meals at hawker stalls for around $1, $2, making a monthly food budget of $100, $150, totally doable if you stick to local options. Utility bills, including electricity, water, and internet, typically range from $40, $60 per month. Public transport like buses and trains is incredibly affordable, with monthly expenses often staying under $20. And the internet? High-speed plans can cost around $15, offering great value. So what's the catch? Honestly, there isn't one. Malaysia offers a rare balance of modern infrastructure and cultural richness. From peaceful beaches in Langkawi to the street food paradise of Penang, you get a mix of comfort and adventure at a fraction of what you'd spend elsewhere. Would you swap your current lifestyle for tropical weekends, multicultural street festivals, and aromatic night markets? If Malaysia sounds tempting, wait until you hear what the next country has in store for your budget travel dreams. On number 18, we have Belarus. What if I told you there's a place in Europe where your dollar stretches further than you'd expect, where you could live off just $350 a month without sacrificing comfort or safety? Welcome to Belarus. While often overlooked, this country offers an incredibly low cost of living, especially in cities like Brest or Grodno, away from the more expensive capital, Minsk. You can rent a modest one-bedroom apartment for as little as $100, $150 per month. Groceries and local markets are surprisingly cheap, with monthly food expenses staying around $80, $100 if you cook at home or eat simple local meals. Utilities, including heating, which you'll definitely need in winter, usually add $40, $60 to your monthly costs. Internet, fast and stable, often just $10 to $15 a month, and local transport buses, trolleys, or the metro cost barely a few cents per ride. But Belarus isn't just about savings. It's about peace, order, and a slow-paced lifestyle that many people crave but never find. Wide streets, calm neighborhoods, and well-maintained parks offer a sense of safety and quiet that's hard to match. Would you enjoy daily life in a clean, quiet city with snowy winters and cozy cafes, knowing you're spending less than $12 a day? If you think Belarus is an underrated gem, wait until you see what kind of lifestyle your $350 can buy you in the next country. Let's keep moving forward. You'll want to hear this. On number 19, we have Uzbekistan. Can you imagine living in a place where ancient Silk Road cities meet modern life and your entire month's expenses barely cross $350? Welcome to Uzbekistan, a hidden jewel in Central Asia where your money not only lasts longer, but gives you a lifestyle rich in culture, history, and daily comfort. In cities like Tashkent, Samarkand, or Bukhara, you can rent a clean, decent one-bedroom apartment for just $100 to $140 a month. If you're careful with your food budget and enjoy cooking at home, groceries, fresh produce, bread, rice, and meats can cost around $70 to $90 per month. Utility bills, including heating, water, and electricity, rarely go over $30, $40, and unlimited internet will cost around $10, $15. Even public transportation or taxis are incredibly cheap, with most locals getting around for just a few cents per ride, totaling no more than $15, $20 monthly. But it's not just about money. Uzbekistan gives you something more, an atmosphere of calm, hospitality, stunning Islamic architecture, and a unique blend of old and new. Can you picture walking through ancient alleys in Samarkand, sipping hot green tea while watching the golden light hit blue-tiled mosques, all while living comfortably under a $350 budget? If you've never considered Uzbekistan before, maybe it's time. And if you're impressed by how far your money can go here, the next country on our list might just surprise you even more. Let's keep exploring. Last but not the least, on number 20, we have Kyrgyzstan. What if I told you there's a place where stunning mountain landscapes stretch for miles, where you can hike along crystal clear lakes, live in peace, and spend less than $350 a month? That place is Kyrgyzstan, one of the most underrated and affordable countries to live in, especially for people who want adventure and serenity without breaking the bank. In the capital city, Bishkek, you can rent a decent one-bedroom apartment for around $120 to $160 per month. Grocery shopping is budget-friendly too. Fresh vegetables, fruits, bread, eggs, and meats typically cost about $80 to $100 a month if you cook at home. Utilities, including heating, water, and electricity, are very manageable at $30 to $40, while internet access comes in at about $10 per month. Public transport is so cheap it feels almost free. Monthly expenses for buses or minibuses can be under $15. But the real treasure of Kyrgyzstan isn't just in its affordability, it's in the lifestyle it offers. Do you enjoy fresh air, wide open nature, and simple, peaceful living? Here, weekends aren't spent stuck in traffic or malls. They're spent hiking in the mountains, relaxing beside Issyk-Kul Lake, or sipping tea with locals who treat strangers like old friends. So, if you've ever dreamed of living a peaceful life, close to nature, and far from the stress of expensive cities, Kyrgyzstan might be calling your name. And if this place feels like a hidden gem. So, after exploring these 20 incredible countries where you can actually live comfortably on just $350 a month, the big question is, what's stopping you? Whether you're dreaming of mountain views, tropical beaches, vibrant city life, or peaceful countryside, there's a place out there waiting for you to call it home without draining your bank account. Now, imagine this. Your rent is paid, your fridge is full, the weather is perfect, and you still have money left to explore, to live, to breathe. Isn't that the kind of freedom we all want? If this video opened your eyes to a new way of living, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're just getting started. More eye-opening content, hidden gems, and life-changing ideas are coming your way. And hey, which country on this list made you think twice? Or is there a place we missed that deserves a spot? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and most importantly, keep living smart.